Nithara and her sky blue friend. Once there was a little girl named Nithara who lived in a small town full of sunny fields and winding lanes. She was 8 years old, with curious eyes and a heart that often dreamed of adventures. But her favorite moments were the ones she spent with her grandfather, who always carried laughter in his pockets. One bright morning, Grandpa wheeled a surprise into the yard. It was a sky blue bicycle, shiny and new, with silver handles and a bell that sparkled in the sunlight. Nithara gasped, her eyes wide. "For you," Grandpa said, smiling. "This will carry you wherever your dreams want to go." Nithara's small hands trembled as she touched the handlebars. The bell gave a crisp ring, and her face lit up. She hugged Grandpa tightly, whispering, "Thank you." "It's more than a bicycle," Grandpa said. "It's a friend." Nithara decided that very moment to name the bicycle Rio. Grandpa held the seat as Nithara wobbled forward. "Steady," he said, laughing as she nearly tipped. "The ground is just reminding you it's there." Nithara fell, scraped her knee, and frowned. "Up again?" Grandpa encouraged. "Falling means you're learning." With each try, her balance grew stronger, and soon the bell sang proudly across the yard. Every day after school, Nithara and Rio raced down the lane. She pedaled hard, the wind rushing against her cheeks. The bell jingled cheerfully, echoing like laughter. "Ready, Rio," she'd whisper. She told Rio her secrets, her dreams of flying, her favorite stories, and even the worries she didn't dare tell anyone else. Together they chased butterflies, carried baskets of flowers, and watched the sky turn pink at sunset. Rio was more than a bicycle. It was a friend who always listened. Grandpa often watched from the porch, his eyes crinkling with joy. "See, Nithara," he'd say, "Rio loves you back." And Nithara believed it with all her heart. One afternoon, Nithara tried racing faster than ever. She leaned into a sharp turn, but her wheel slipped on a stone. She crashed hard onto the gravel. Her palms burned, and her knees bled. The bell let out a harsh clang before falling silent. Nithara's chest tightened. For the first time, she hated Rio. "I don't want to ride you anymore," she cried angrily, kicking the bicycle's wheel. Her tears stung worse than her scrapes. The bell dangled sadly, bent and broken. Grandpa came running, helping her up gently. But Nithara pushed the bike aside. "It betrayed me," she whispered. And from that day, Rio stood alone in the yard. Days passed, then weeks. Rio leaned against the fence, its blue frame growing dusty. Weeds curled around its wheels. Each time Nithara saw it, her heart felt heavy. She remembered the sting of falling, and she turned her face away. The bell, once so cheerful, now hung silent, waiting for a hand that never came. Grandpa sometimes nudged her gently. "One day, you'll ride again." But Nithara shook her head. "No, I don't need it." She filled her afternoons with books and drawings. Yet every evening, she caught Rio from the corner of her eye, and deep down, she missed the laughter of the bell she once loved. Months rolled by, and the seasons changed. Grandpa grew weaker. His steps slowed, and his smile seemed softer, tired around the edges. One night, as Nithara tucked herself into bed, Grandpa sat beside her. "Remember," he whispered, "your bicycle is waiting. It will always carry you to places your feet can't take." Then, One quiet morning, Grandpa was gone. The house felt heavier without his laughter. The corners of Nithara's world grew dim. She cried into her pillow, missing the voice that had always told her to be brave. Even Rio seemed to bow its frame, as if grieving the man who had given it life. Nithara avoided the yard for many days. She couldn't bear to see Grandpa's chair empty or the silence where his humming used to be. But one evening, a memory tugged at her heart. The day he gave her Rio, the pride in his voice, and the promise in his words. This will carry you anywhere your dreams can go. With trembling steps, Nithara walked into the overgrown yard. Rio was there, covered in dust, rust creeping along the chain. Weeds wrapped around its tires like ropes, holding it down. Nithara's chest ached. "I left you," she whispered, tears slipping down her cheeks. "I left Grandpa's gift alone." She touched the handlebar softly, as though it might break. Memories rushed back. The first ride, the laughter, the bells' bright song. Nithara wiped her face and whispered, "I want to try again." She dragged Rio from the weeds, her fingers dirty, her arms trembling. Though the bicycle was heavy with rust, it still felt like the same friend she once knew. Her father found her in the yard, scrubbing the bicycle with a rag. "You're fixing it?" he asked gently. Nithara nodded. "It was Grandpa's gift. I can't leave it broken." Her father knelt beside her, helping loosen the rusted chain. For the first time in weeks, Nithara felt warmth in her chest instead of emptiness. Together, they polished the frame until the sky blue paint peeked through again. They oiled the wheels, brushed away the dirt, and tightened the loose bolts. But the bell still hung silent, its cheerful song lost. Nithara's father smiled. "We'll find you a new bell, one that rings just as bright." That weekend, they visited the small town shop. Rows of bells glittered on the shelf, but one caught Nithara's eye. Silver, simple and shining, just like the one Grandpa had chosen before. She cradled it in her hands. "This one," she whispered. When it rang, the sound carried a note of hope. Back home, her father fixed the new bell tightly onto Rio's handlebar. Nithara climbed on nervously. She felt the weight of months pressing against her. "Are you ready?" her father asked. Nithara swallowed hard, placed her feet on the pedals, and whispered to the bike, "If you'll have me back, Rio, let's ride again." The first push was shaky. She wobbled, nearly tipping over, but her father steadied the seat. Just like Grandpa did, she thought, her eyes stinging. She pedaled harder, the air rushing past. And then, ring, the bell chimed, loud and clear. Nithara laughed through her tears. Rio's voice had returned. Down the lane they went, past the hedges and into the open field. The sky stretched wide, the grass swayed, and Nithara felt something lift inside her chest. She wasn't just riding a bicycle, she was riding with a memory, with love, with the gentle strength Grandpa had left behind for her. As the wind filled her hair, she heard it, faint but certain, her grandfather's voice, warm as ever, cheering. "That's my girl! Keep going!" Nithara laughed, ringing the bell again and again. Each note sounded like joy. Each note carried her further, reminding her that love never truly disappears. She pedaled faster, her heart light. The road ahead no longer frightened her. Falls might come, but so would laughter, and she was ready for both. Rayo's wheels spun steady beneath her, strong and true. The bell sang, not just with sound, but with memory. It sang for Grandpa, it sang for her. At sunset, Nithara slowed to a stop. She leaned against the fence, breathless and smiling. She looked up at the golden sky and whispered, "Thank you, Grandpa." Somewhere inside her, she felt him smile back. The bicycle glowed in the fading light, no longer a silent friend, but one that sang again. From that day on, Nithara rode Rio every morning. She told it her dreams again, rang the bell proudly, and felt Grandpa close with every ride. Some friends don't need words to comfort you. Some gifts never fade. And some bells, once broken, can sing again, stronger, brighter, carrying love into every tomorrow.